got some gameplay from 2K26. We also got a courtside report that delves deep into new features that have been added to the next game, ranging from layup packages that allow you to customize each type of layup you want to equip, whether it be James Harden Euro or SGA Scoop layup, to new defensive upgrades. I am going to break down everything presented from the Courtside Report blog and the Courtside Report gameplay. Also from the official gameplay trailer and the Road to NBA 2K26 gameplay reveal live stream. Let's dive in. There's a lot to cover. Each section will combine information from all 4 sources: the Courtside Report blog, the video, the gameplay trailer, and the live stream. So if you want to see any of that for yourself, it'll be linked in the description below. In 2K26, the overall game speed is going to be sped up. They said this is going to reward players who have faster decision making, players who can read the court, and players who can anticipate their opponent and react quicker. Now, I am a fan of game speed being sped up. I forget which year it was. All these 2Ks, they blend into one another. When I watch 2K content and people are reminiscing about older 2Ks, and they can mention something that happened in a specific 2K, like, oh, 2K20, this was happening, 2K24, this was happening. I'm like, how do they remember? All these things blend with me. But either way, game speed, one of those years back then, it was so slow. Maybe it was 2K17. It was one of those years where it just felt like everything you did was in slow motion. I am a fan of this. I love a faster, not arcadey game, but introduce a little bit of that. The game being faster will just make the game just more fun, and that's a plus. Rebound timing feedback. In 2K26, a green meter will flash beneath your player's feet to indicate a well-timed rebound attempt. And also, they threw this hint in there. If y'all didn't actually know this, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but it's kind of just something you intuitively feel when going for a rebound. But they tell you the ideal time to jump for a rebound is just before the ball makes its final bounce off the rim, if some of y'all needed help with that. Also, a higher rebound attribute rating will make it easier to nail your timing. Now, reading that, I have a question. The question that pops into my mind is, what happens if a lower rated player has better positioning and is boxing out the player with the higher rebound? Does that higher rated player get a worm animation, or does it depend on strength, or what? I mean, there's so many variables in terms of rebounding, so we'll just have to see. Also, they said excellent timing can significantly boost your chances of securing a board. And then Evan from the live stream, he said this helps you learn and adjust when to jump for a rebound. This is my thing with this. People have been going crazy over this, but I do not think this changes rebounding at all. I think they just put in the game a visual cue for how you timed your rebound. I don't think it'll change anything. You had to time your rebounds before, but you intuitively felt when to jump for the rebound. It's just going to tell you if that intuition you had was correct or not. I feel like it's going to be the same way it's always been. Now, maybe they added a slight boost if you time it perfectly, a slight boost to rebounding, because it says excellent timing will significantly boost your chances. So maybe if you happen to time it perfectly, you'll get a slight boost to like your rebound animation. Maybe he'll jump farther or something, but I just really don't think it's changing rebounding. I think it's just giving you a visual cue on how you time the rebound. Revamped signature size ups, so you can move the pro stick back and forth, left and right, or repeatedly flick the pro stick up. This executes 2 different size up combinations. That's really all they said about signature size ups, those different ways of activating them, and it creates 2 different signature size ups. This is something that we're just gonna have to get our hands on and fill it out. Alley oops. They now say alley oops require more skill, and now in this year, what's changed is the finish button for the receiver will now be randomized on higher difficulties to one of the 4 face buttons on your controller. Now, this is actually somewhat controversial. Some people don't like this, but I do, because it does increase the skill gap. You have to be prepared for the oop, because currently people already have kind of a hard time being ready for the oop. Like if you play random rec and you throw an oop, they are not going to catch it. They are not ready to press the button. Now, when you got to choose a random button, don't throw oops to no randoms this year. Do not. It will not work. I promise you. Setting screens. Finally, you can now control which way you want to face while setting a screen. Tapping the left stick slightly left or right from the direction you are currently screening will turn your player 45 degrees. Tapping left stick in the opposite direction will turn your player 180 degrees. This is huge. I mean, we've all been there. We're setting a screen and your player is facing literally the opposite way. Like he's trying to screen with his ass. That's always been annoying. It didn't happen too much, but it did happen. And when it does happen, it's just, come on, like face the right way, please. And now we're gonna have control of that, which I love. Good improvement, good improvement. Things that caught my eye in the trailer and reports. Just a few things that didn't fit into any category, but were interesting and I noticed something different. First is that the lighting seems to be improved. Now, I don't know if it's just the color correction they're using on the video or there's an actual change, so we'll have to see with that. Next is the jersey physics seem to be the same. You know, I've been wanting the old school jersey physics where they would really like flare and stuff. off, but it seems to be the same. And then we also got our first look at Cooper Flag. Looks just like him. Next, we got a look at the new shot meter, which I love because you can actually see your green. You can actually see where the green spots are. Beautiful. And then we got to look at the new scoreboard, which I mean, it's a scoreboard. What would I want? I would want them to just rip off the actual scoreboard they use on like TNT or ESPN or something and just make it say 2K, but they got their own flair. It looks fine. Before, Pro Play really only influenced stuff like jump shot animations and dribbling. But now in 2K26, it influences all on-court movement. That includes offense, defense, off-ball movement, everything. And they say some benefits of this are players will move in a more lifelike way. It'll reduce skating and sliding around the court. They also say movement will feel more realistic and also will offer more precision in movements. And then they say about this change that it's the biggest change to movement since NBA 2K21. That's pretty crazy. Pro Play now influences every single aspect to movement on the game. Now, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it could be amazing or it could be disastrous. We'll have to see. They just modeled everything a player does, like how they run off ball and stuff. And now that player has that type of movement, their gait assigned to them. So how Curry runs, it's going to look like Curry running. I'm thinking maybe that's what they mean. If it's truly the biggest change since 2K21, this game is going to feel so different. Green or miss timing is back, and it will be universal on NBA 2K26. It said it's on higher difficulties, and it said that this includes most competitive multiplayer modes. So this means only excellent timed green shots go in. In the shot timing window, it scales by difficulty. It will be less forgiving in competitive modes like Proving Grounds and Pro-Am, and then more forgiving in team-controlled modes like MyTeam, where you have to adapt to different shot animations. Now, I am a fan of this. The big controversy last year is RNG, right? Now, Mike Wang has came out and said there was no RNG this year. We'll have to test that out, but green or miss, I'm down with that. If I time my shot perfectly, I should make the shot. I'm sorry. This ain't real life where you hit your shot 40% of the time if you're Steph Curry. No, it's a game. If you're wide open and you time it correctly, you should make it. So yes, thank you. This is a great change. Now, does this help cheaters? Yeah, but guess what? They're going to cheat no matter what. They're going to find a way, find an exploit. So cater the game to the real players and ban the cheaters. That's what I say. Enhanced rhythm shooting. Rhythm shooting still relies on the down up flicking motion with the shot stick, but now your shot timing and tempo will actually manipulate the shooter's upper body and impact how the shot looks throughout the complete motion by reflecting how you move the shot stick. You'll see and feel the difference between early, late, slow, and fast releases. Flick up early and rush your shot, you can do quick releases. Flick up late and slowly, you'll see the effect with a delayed push motion and lazier release. Now, Evan from the live stream, he says, there isn't necessarily right or wrong timing anymore. It gives you more freedom. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still confused about this one. There's no right or wrong timing anymore? What? You just gonna green everything? So from what they're saying, it seems like rhythm shooting is more about the tempo of how you flick the stick and less about the timing of the flick. So I'm thinking, is it however you start the flick, say you start the flick super fast, if you finish it super fast, green. But if you start it super fast and finish it slow, it's a miss. Is it something like that? I'm still kind of confused on this. They also say about this, it grants more freedom to decide what type of jump shot you want to take. So they're saying you could take a quick shot or you can take one where you kind of hang in the air, maybe like Kobe. But like, I'm thinking, when would you ever want to take a delayed shot? More likely than not, this is going to mess you up and make you miss. With shooting, you want it consistent. You want to know if I do these things correctly this way, every time it's going to go in. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. I don't know. I'm kind of confused though. Quick shot. This new mechanic allows you to achieve no dip catch and shoot threes. It skips the dip and allows shooters to get the shot off super quick. When receiving a pass while standing still to square up, catch the ball high and seamlessly transition directly into your shot motion and rhythm to get the shot up quickly. You hold LT before you catch the ball while standing on the arc. This is only for spot up shooters. You cannot be moving while doing this. I like this. Now it may be confusing because you might not realize you're doing it and then you get a super quick shot and you miss because of that. But for me, whenever I'm on the arc, I'm always holding LT because they say it gives you a better catch animation. So I'm always doing that. So I'm going to be doing this on accident the whole year. And I feel like it's going to make me miss a lot because I'm not going to realize I'm doing it for the no dip catch and shoot. I think this will be interesting, especially for like just 3-and-D type players or stretch bigs. You're able to get that shot off super quick. Harder for players to contest you when they're sagging off. It's going to be interesting. This might add somewhat of a skill gap a little bit. Now you can do a signature go-to shot out of the post. All you have to do is hold up on the shot stick while in the post. Some new moves that come with this is the shimmy floater, the baby hook, and the up and under. I'm a fan of any time they add new moves into the game, new move sets. This is going to be interesting because, I mean, I read on Twitter from Mike Wing that you can actually cancel out of these, the ones that dribble. So it's going to add, like, you know, this year when you would hold down, you would do like that step back and you could cancel out of that and it would create separation from your defender. Same thing with the post. You go in the post, you do the signature shot and you cancel out of it. I can see that going crazy for some people this year. In the gameplay trailer, you can actually see Ant doing this out of the post. It looks pretty good. And also you can see Brunson do it too. And it really looks like those guys, like they actually do those moves in real life. That pro play is working crazy right there. So this might be some new cheese this year for sure. We'll have to see. Layup timing is now permanently enabled. They say this is going to separate skilled finishers from non-skilled ones. And I'm very happy about this. I can't tell you how many times a player has went up on me for a layup and they didn't have to time their layup and it just had open. When I'm right in his face, it says open. And he makes the layup and you know for damn well, if he had to time that, he would have never made it. Thank you for this. There should never be any time when you have to score a bucket. There should never be a time when you don't have to actually try to time that shot or layup or whatever dunk to score. I just really believe in that. I think that increases the skill gap majorly. There are now custom layup packages in 2K26. You can mix and match standard layups, floaters, quick scoops, euro steps, hop steps, and spins. And they showed an actual screenshot of what the animation section where you equip all your animations, what it's gonna look like. And finally, I've been waiting for this for years. I'm like, everything should have a custom package you can create with it. Like jump shots have it, dunks have it, now layups have it. Now I'm just waiting for the dribble pull-up package, but that'll come in due time. But I'm so happy for this because, you know, sometimes, you know, like Trae Young, he had a great floater this year, but I didn't want his layup. So now I can equip his floater and equip like Curry's layup or something. This is an awesome addition. I don't see anyone mad at this being added. This is amazing. More customization to your player, how you want to play. This is great. Slow-mo Euro step gathers. This mechanic allows players to decelerate while Euro stepping to throw defenders off and create space with a slow-mo finish. How you do it is, after initiating a Euro step, hold the left trigger at any point. This will deliberately decelerate your player mid-move. This is a major W. Now, I don't know how effective it's gonna be, but just from the sound of it, I'm messing with it heavy. Because say you really beat your man off the dribble, like bad, and he's trailing you, and you're almost to the rim. So he jumps, and you hit that slow-mo, you slow down, he goes flying past and you slow and you lay it up just like nice and slow like. You know what that reminds me of? Of when, like, say Lamar Jackson, he's gone, he's touchdown and he walks into the end zone. That is the coldest shit, bro. When he just slows down and walks into the end zone, sometimes he'll turn around and look at the defenders. Oh my gosh, that's what that reminds me of. And that's gonna be cold because that's actually a very useful move in the NBA. Like Luka does it. If you notice, all the non-athletic players do it. Luka got it, Brunson got it, Ant does do it. He's athletic, he does do it, but a lot of unathletic players do it. But this is a W. I mess with this heavy. I will probably be making a high layup build next year because, be honest with you, I'm always making a high layup build every year. That's my first player. Honestly, my first player is always like a no dunking 99 layup build because I love layups. I love the finesse of the layup, but it just, you know, it's never as good as dunking because you end up getting blocked way more with layups than you do dunk. So I'm messing with this. Anything to increase the layup skill gap and the layup usability. Yeah, I like this. 2K26 will be using a system-driven technology to generate player-to-player collision, whatever that means. It's saying that this is going to be more reliable compared to previously scripted motion capture animations. And I want to know, is that why sometimes when a player does a move offensively, you can't touch them? There's like a force field around them where you can't interrupt them at all. That must be what was going on with those mocap animations. When they're in that mocap animation, you cannot disrupt them at all. They're good. And that's why, you know, this year when they would do like the push cross or aggressive size up or whatever, and you can't touch them, they get right past you. That's what would happen. So maybe that's much improved. I hope. This year interior defense has been redesigned. They say it's easier to put a body on shooters when they're finishing around the rim, and it's easier to make body to body contacts in the air. And also that bigs will feel an increased physicality when roaming in the paint. Also, it's easier to get strong body bumps in the air when contesting finishers at the rim. Hey, anything that's going to improve defense, I'm for, because I mean, last year interior defense was a mess. It really was. So many times you're contesting shots in the paint and the game acts like you're not even there. So many times you try to put a body on someone in the paint, prevent them from getting deeper in the paint, nothing will happen. So if they fix that, if they actually fix that, that's crazy, and that's a great improvement. But we have to see and test it first to really know what's going on. Quick Protect is new and coming to NBA 2K26. Ball handlers can now shield themselves from steals. This balances the steal system and it leads to more steal-based outcomes. And how you do it is you just tap left trigger. If you see a defender reaching for a steal and react quickly enough, you can counter it. Now, counter it is an interesting way to say that. I'm thinking if you counter it successfully, something should happen to the defensive player reaching, right? They should get like stunned or something, you know? Now I'm thinking if you time it correctly, you should stun the defender for reaching. You should be rewarded for timing it, and the defender should get a penalty for reaching badly. I think they had to add this quick protect because they're revamping the steal system, and they gave a counter to players reaching so that when they actually reach in the correct manner, say someone crosses and you go for the ball and reach, you know how you never get it. Maybe now you will actually get those reaches because you timed it perfectly, and you will get rewarded. And so to counter that, they actually needed to implement some offensive thing so they can defend against that. You can also use this to put players in jail, like, you know how when you're crabbed. But a lot of times when you're crabbed in the game, you're not actually crabbed. You just so happen to be behind the player and you can't get around them for some odd reason. Now players can actually literally crab you where they're holding you off behind them. This is interesting. I'm gonna see how this works in actual gameplay, but it sounds good. Wrap passes are in NBA 2K26. What is a wrap pass? It allows passers to avoid defenders when they're playing the passing lanes when they're trying to pass to the teammate. You do it by double tapping circle or B, depending on what you play on. And now since it's circle or B, now the flashy pass, it is X and O together on PS5, or Xbox is A and B. And because that's changed, now self oops is square and triangle on PS5 and X and Y on Xbox. So the wrap pass, this is a major W2 because, you know, you've always been there when you're on a fast break. There's a teammate directly in front of you closer to the hoop, but there's a defender between y'all and you go to pass to them and it just passes straight into the defender's back. Now you can actually, like the movie Wanted, you can actually wrap the pass around the defender. I like this and I hope it works. So that was everything from the Courtside report, the blog, the videos, the trailers, everything. And 2K26 is looking very interesting so far. My favorite thing would probably have to be the layup packages. I've been wanting that for years and finally it's here. But we're gonna have to see, man. I can't wait for more information to come out. And if y'all watched this and appreciated this, then I appreciate y'all for watching this. Thank y'all.